Hey everyone, it's July 22nd, and that means that if today's your birthday, you share with serial killer Marie Madeline Marguerite Brinvilliers, best known as the Marquis de Brinvilliers, who killed more than 50 victims in the 1600s, and that is her right over there, and I'd like to apologize for my terrible French pronunciation. Born into a wealthy family in Paris in 1630, her uncle helped found what is now known as the city of Montreal, and her father was an influential government official. As a girl, she wouldn't be allowed to inherit her family's wealth as long as she had brothers, and she allegedly was sexually abused as a child. Regarded as a very beautiful woman in her era, she was oft courted by wealthy men and married the Marquis de Brinvilliers in 1651, who was serving in the regiment of Normandy. Their marriage was far from ideal, and Brinvilliers carried on multiple affairs that caused the scandal and yielded 4 of her 7 children. One lover fled France to dodge creditors, and her father had him arrested, being thrown into the Bastille for a year. While there, he learned about poisons from a fellow prisoner, and when he was released, he and Brinvilliers hatched a plot to get revenge on her father. To prepare for poisoning her paternal parent, she began volunteering at a hospital so she would have access to the chemicals she needed, and began experimenting on the patients to determine the best possible poison and dose to use, killing the poor and needy who had come to her for help. She murdered at least 50 patients while running experiments. Brinvilliers and her lover decided they should also poison the rest of her family so she could inherit the entire estate. In 1666, she poisoned her father. 4 years later, she poisoned her 2 brothers with the help of their valet. Her lover suddenly died, and when investigating his estate, authorities found documents incriminating Brinvilliers and the valet for the murders of her father and brothers, as well as the poor patients she had killed during her research phase. Her brother's valet was arrested and tortured, and he ultimately confessed his role in the plot. Brinvilliers fled France and hid in England, moved on to Germany, and then back to France, where she hid in a convent. A policeman disguised himself as a priest to infiltrate the abbey, and she was captured. Among her belongings were a diary that included a full account of her crimes, and when Brinvilliers was caught, she tried to commit suicide but failed. She was ultimately taken to Paris, where she was given a confessor to whom she admitted what she had done. Brinvilliers was tortured for 4 hours, beheaded, and had her body burned in 1676. Imagine that, a wealthy person facing the consequences of their own actions. I wonder what that's like. After her story became known, King Louis XIV began using food tasters to ensure he wouldn't fall victim to poison, and France entered a period where many other members of the nobility were investigated for potentially also using poison as a part of witchcraft. Hundreds were arrested, with many of them executed in an effort to purge the country of witches, which likely means there were dozens of innocent victims of the whims of a mad king. Brinvilliers' story has been referenced in books by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle and Alexandre Dumas, as well as many contemporary works, including the anime Sailor Moon. If this is your birthday, I hope you have a great day. Leave me a comment so I can wish you a happy birthday. If you know someone whose birthday it is today, send them this video so you can find out all about their birthday twin, and make sure they don't lose their head. And to Marie Madeline Marguerite Brinvilliers, I say, happy birthday, you bastard.